Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4! And today spawning in on the east side of the map, we've got Whammo1 playing as the Tughlaq dynasty. And up against him today spawning on the west side of the map in red, it's none other than his brother, One Puppy Paw, playing as the Golden Horde. Welcome everyone to a very tropical, dry Arabia. Hope you guys are having a great morning. Ooh, floaty elephant. And a good afternoon or a good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Excited to showcase this, especially because it's a new biome, but obviously two brand new civilizations, and we've got to talk about this. All right, so the Tughlaq dynasty have worker elephants, which are apparently scouts as well, because they can pick up sheep, which is actually kind of busted. I mean, that can't be a thing. Like, this is probably going to change, because the thing about the worker elephants is, sure, they're a little bit expensive. Well, I mean, to be fair, I can't even say they're expensive, because they effectively cost 10 extra resources compared to a scout. The big difference is that you don't have to idle your town center to make these dudes, and they spawn instantly. So yeah, you got to spend the resources for, well, what you would for a scout. But the thing about the worker elephant, you're going to need them in the future anyway. They're very adaptable in the movement, and it allows you to pick up sheep, but also to go around your enemy's base with your primary scout, pick up as many sheep as possible. Kind of crazy, kind of broken, I don't know. Maybe not broken, but it's just super powerful, right? Like, when you think about any other civilization that can get scouts out nice and early, like the Rus, for example, you still have to wait for a hunting cabin to be built, right? And the scouts' utility afterwards isn't all that very much, unless you're going professional scouts, of course, but that's a very, like, specific strategy that you have in mind. I can't imagine there'd be many scenarios as a Tughlaq dynasty where you wouldn't get multiple worker elephants like this to be scouts. Kind of interesting to think about, and this is why I love new DLCs, this is why I love showcasing new civilizations. There's lots to unpack, lots to figure out, and what better way to do it at the hands of two professional players, two brothers as well, going head to head. The Golden Tent is the main, well, I wouldn't say primary, but the main building for the Golden Horde is essentially the place where you can tech up to the next age, get some very good units. You got the Batu Khan, of course, hero unit, you got the Turgud. And then you've got some upgrades as well for, well, these are the Rus tributes you can summon in. But the upgrade for the Khan debuff arrow, really nice. And then you've got 4 edicts. You can only choose to activate one at a time. Got production speed edict here. And then you've got defensive aura. So the Golden Horde really do revolve around the fortified outpost, because that's where these edicts kind of mostly manifest. You can unlock the Kharash edict and also the Stockyard edict. But usually that's done sort of later on in the game. Now, I know a lot of people are a bit upset, you know, it's variant civilizations rather than new civilizations. But I gotta say, like, a lot of things have changed, actually, from the base civ. So for the Dome of the Faith, it looks very similar and does similar things, but you got a new unit, Healer Elephants, which I think actually is something we need to talk about as well. You may have seen some of the overview videos I've done recently on these civilizations. They were really fun to make, by the way. And, yeah, I mean, we covered a lot of the details of the civilizations, but we didn't go to necessarily strategy talk, and I think that's what casted games kind of allow you to do. And I feel like the Healer Elephant is incredibly strong. You might be wondering, well, how? It just heals stuff, right? Well, actually, no, it can attack. Now, granted, the attack isn't sort of super duper strong, but the fact that it can attack is crazy in and of itself, because they are a very high HP unit. So if your enemy to deal with it is a bit tricky, and the fact that they can actually do some damage is still pretty nice. Looks like actually I'm going to go for a second town center with the Tughlaq dynasty. Yeah, we do typically see civilizations start to kind of, I guess, unravel in their kind of strategies that work well for them. And it does seem like the 2-town center for the Tughlaq dynasty is proving to be pretty powerful, considering also the village are going to snag the sheep. Thought about it. Okay, no, redirected. Oh, maybe again. Scout, gotta pay. Yeah, okay, Wham's paying attention. A bit of a dance there, but looks like Puppy Paw said, okay, fine, I'll give up on it. Kind of curious to probably go to, where's this village going over? Does it build another Uvu or something? Probably. Anyway, it's gonna be the Khan and Turgud's upgrade to go to the feudal age for the Golden Horde. And, of course, as we know, is the Dome of the Faith here for the Tughlaq dynasty. Already got the foundations placed for the second town center, by the way. Now, that's a super fast time, I gotta say, because I think there are only a handful of other civilizations that can match that. It's coming down to the fact that the worker elephant Not only does it act as a drop-off point, but it increases the resources by 5%. Not huge amounts, it's not like a prelate or something, but yeah, every little bit helps, and that 2 town center timing is very, very fast. Yeah, it was indeed another Uvu out for the Golden Horde. The crazy thing is that a couple of healer elephants and a couple of infantry can deny things like the Uvu and get on the map pretty quickly. One thing to bear in mind, I didn't even mention it, the biggest thing for the healer elephant rather, is that the actual damage output they do is buffed by the number of infantry that you have around it. So certainly you're going to be seeing a lot of compositions of healer elephants and infantry because it just boosts up your healer elephants in terms of damage they can do. Batu Khan out on the field, the Golden Horde hero. Not much for him to do really at this point, but just be a bit harassing, I guess. A second town centre in a really nice spot near the berries, near the wood line, protects the wood, and it's got a god behind it as well, so super, super protected. And that's often what you get with a second town centre. It's very nice indeed. We've got the protection here of the reinforced outpost, or fortified outpost rather, from Puppy Paw and the Golden Horde. Looks like he's going for a Castle Age play, because he's got a lot of villagers on gold. Could potentially be thinking about Keshiks maybe for the mobility. You can make Tughlaq as well. They don't actually cost any gold, so it's mostly just food and stone you get from the Uvu. Looks like Batu Khan will be going down, unfortunately. Dove in a bit too deep. Wasn't even able to get a villager for that, so that's kind of rough. Lost a unit there for free. Comes in a couple of Tughlaq kind of trying to snipe one of the weaker villagers. Does get one in the end, so they finish off what the Khan couldn't. Might actually, yeah, should get another villager, but might lose a decent amount of HP because of the spearman. But you commit to that, no doubt about it. Picks them off and going to be riding on out. Now, I would like to say, by the way, a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Special shout out, of course, to the YouTube channel members and the Twitch subscribers. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Going above and beyond, of course. And I would like to say, by the way, I know I haven't been sort of casting too much recently. I've been a bit of... I've been working on other YouTube channels, actually, as it happens. So I appreciate you guys sticking around with the channel. I know would love to put more content, but of course with the new DLC, my kind of interest in Age of Empires 4 certainly has peaked up again, as you can tell with the amount of videos I've been putting out. Which, by the way, will be quite... Oh, we're going to lose the Khan again. Yeah, I will be putting a lot more videos out in the short term because it's a good time for me to grow the channel. So bear with me. I know some people get a bit upset if I'm putting too much video out, but I think in this sort of scenario, this stage of the DLC, the more the merrier. And then we will slow things down and kind of, a bit more consistent, but little and often sort of thing to keep things regular. And then I'll default to my position where, we're going to only just cast the really, really good games that we find. But the good thing about games now for the new DLC is that pretty much every game is going to be a good game because there's just so much to talk about, right? Everything's new. And so it's going to be about players figuring out how these civilizations work and for us to explore and just witness firsthand some of the strategies. Speaking of which, going Castle Age is quite nice here for the Golden Tent, the Golden Horde rather, through the Golden Tent. Going for Relic Uvus. It's an upgrade that basically allows the Shaman to pick up the relics and then deploy an Uvu for more stone income, essentially. And the reason why that's so powerful, not only that, by the way, it actually increases the amount of stone generation by 20%. And the reason why that's so good is because if you can get this timing where your enemies go for 2 town centers, you should get to the Castle Age quicker. Therefore, you should get the pick of those relics. That's exactly what the Mongols are doing today. It's kind of a nice strategy with a lot of other civilizations, but now we're seeing the Golden Horde being able to pull it off as well. Now, of course, civilizations like the HRE and Ayubids typically are ones that can go for a fast castle, pick up relics, and go on from there. A couple of infantry dotted around the map. And here's the healer elephant. The other crazy thing about it is that when you think about other civilizations having access to healing units, we've got the Delhi Sultanate with the Scholar, but they can't attack, right? And then you've got the Ayubids have the Dervish, but again, they can't attack. And this is the big difference. This dude can. So there's the confirmation there, by the way. It gains 1 damage for each nearby melee unit. Now, in terms of actual base damage, it's got 18 tusks. Or obviously, so actually, that's not even the base. Of course, we've got units adding to that, as you can see in real time. Gets plus bonus 15 versus buildings, which is... it's not like a massive amount of damage against buildings, but, when you factor in you're getting infantry with this, the torch damage adds up. You might get another couple of healer elephants. It builds up, and it's like an army that can't be dealt with. Like, how do you deal with this going up against it? I mean, you can't because if you go for archers, you might be able to pick off a couple of spearmen here and there. But bear in mind, like, your spearmen, when they're retreating with your healer elephants, the healer elephants will, well, heal up their spearmen, right? So it's even harder for the archers to, like, super take them out. You have to build up a decent mass, but might lose a healer elephant here. Caught out, I'm afraid. Puppy Paw getting to the castle age now. But this is it. Like, pushed it away. Healer elephant wasn't even taken out. And as long as he gets nearby other healer elephants, he'll be fine. Taking out 2 Uvus now. Now, Puppy Paw doing the right thing, of course. Trying to get some raiding potential with the Turgut and the... well, Scout, actually. There's no Batu Khan. He's lost the Khan twice, I think. Might get a villager here, but... yeah, we'll suffer some damage from the spearmen, which are closing in. I don't think he's actually got a villager there. Would you believe that? Holy... did he get... he must have got textiles, right? Yeah, he did, yeah. That's why. That textile upgrade has worked in wonders for him, though. Now, Wham behind all of this, recognizing the situation, will be going to the Castle Age himself before too long. Kind of curious to see what it goes with, whether it will be the compound of the Defender or the House of Learning. Another batch of spearmen. Is he going to try and sandwich them together, maybe? Yeah, this force is kind of crazy, right? Because a lot of the times you would just try and ignore armies that are in your base, maybe, and counterattack. But it feels like this is an army you can't ignore, right? Got to find a way to deal with it. And it's going to go for the Kipchak Archer, which is a nice unit, actually, to scale with the Golden Horde. I'm a big fan of it, especially against the spearmen. But you need a decent number of them. Speaking of which, the Golden Horde do produce in batches. That can help build up the numbers. But really, for this is what we were talking about earlier, right? Sure, you can pick off some of the spearmen with ranged units. But when you've got the healer elephant here, it takes us that much longer, right? So you should be able to make it back with the last, like the majority of your spearmen. And this is a Castle Age unit after all, 6 of them, and they're struggling to pick off, you know, a solid number of these spearmen. And now that you've got 3 elephants here, it feels almost impossible. The elephants, you know, they're relatively cheap too. Well, I mean, they're not cheap, but they're cheaper with the Dome of the Faith, of course. To be fair, the price point is fairly expensive, so at least that's one way that it's kind of balanced, or could be seen to be balanced. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below, though. I think it's a really, really good unit for the Tughlaq dynasty in the feudal age, for sure. Yeah, with numbers now building up for Puppy Paw, he is starting to get some of these spearmen numbers down. They are veterancy as well now, so should be to get on out. Heat elephants just buffering a little bit. Wham chose to go up with the House of Learning. Now, as you may have noticed, the Tughlaq dynasty, they don't get free technologies. They're actually a lot more expensive. Well, I don't say a lot more expensive, but they're a good chunk of change. But the big thing is they research very quickly. As you can see, 5 seconds to get these upgrades in. And all of this has resulted, by the way, with a really, really healthy villager lead here for Wham. At 62 villagers versus 47. That's a lot of Turgut and Kipchaks, though, for the Golden Horde. He needs to do some damage, right? Tries to pick off 1 relic. Won't get it, I'm afraid. One thing to bear in mind that's good for the Golden Horde, I guess, is that the army is relatively mobile compared to the Tughlaq dynasty. The army is pretty much mostly on the left side, so it's going to take some time to get over. Oh, this could be dangerous, though. He should be able to pick off a decent chunk of these villagers. Oh, caught out in the wilderness. The army's not in this position. We'll see the Kipchak archers. They should focus down this army pretty well, and they'll catch up with the villagers. This is going to be bad for Wham. So a lot of the villager lead now is going to be sliced a little bit, but I've got to say that villager lead is pretty expansive. Like, that's kind of crazy, right? It's a lot of numbers. And now we get to see some of the raider elephants, the cutie guys. I love these elephants, but look at the tails wagging. Look at them. Look at them go. Look at them go. I love it. This is one of my most favorite units of the new DLC. It looks really good, and they're just really fun. They move pretty fast, as you do. I mean, you wouldn't really expect elephants to move so fast, but they do. And they are a raider elephant after all, and they've got little tails to wag. What's not to love about them? On that note, by the way, let me know what you think is your most favorite unit so far in the DLC. I think the Radari are very good for the Macedonians. The Kipchaks are pretty cool. I mean, the raider elephants are pretty cool. We talk about these being variant civilizations, but we've just listed like a good chunk of brand new units already. I'm pretty stoked to see everyone play the game and see the kind of strategies that come out. Oh, here elephants are on the field. Talking about strategies, by the way, if you would like to and you want to kind of engage a little bit more in the community, do drop into the Discord. I'll leave a link in the video description where we could talk strategies and whatnot. Be nice to grow the community there a little bit. Yeah, but this is where it becomes crazy, right? Because the torch damage coming out from the infantry and the tusks from the healer elephants and everything healing up as it goes along, like this is a massive build type. It's only 15 minutes into the game and it almost feels really difficult to deal with. It's a really simple army and it's essentially a feudal age army, right? I mean, units that scale from the feudal age. You got the healer elephants and the spearmen. Yeah, sure, these are veteran spearmen, but you know, they started massing up in the feudal age and it's just going to dive right in. That's the crazy thing, is he doesn't even care about the arrow fire. He's got the second ranged armor upgrade. That's the big thing. And so these units aren't even suffering against the town center fire. And the bigger thing is that this is idling 13 of the villagers from the Golden Horde. And he's just going to die this. And he's probably going to just take out this army. And then that's going to leave nothing here for Puppy Paw to defend with. He's low on numbers in his army. He's low in numbers in terms of economy. And he is super struggling. The Tughlaq dynasty with the elephants, more importantly the healer elephants, is looking really good. And I think at this point, there's probably no other option other than for Puppy Paw to put up the gloves, wave the white flag, and probably resign any minute now. I imagine so. There's no way coming back from this, right? He's trying to get some more spearmen out, but yeah, these healer elephants, it just looks like they won't die. A couple of Raiders elephants peeling off as well. Yeah, Puppy Paw struggling. Like, these villagers in the town center are just going to forever be there. And that's such a big chunk of his economy. That's just not working for him. And look, the unit's just trickling in. And the raid elephants, they're pretty fast to join the fight as well. Charging on in. Round the back as well. And there it is. GG does get called in the end. No choice there. But ultimately, a really fascinating game of Age of Empires 4. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, by the way, we do have a cheese strategy for the Macedonians. I will leave it as an end card on your screen right now. It's worth checking out. But otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.